Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. Try to get over here in the light where maybe you guys can see me a little bit better. We are up in Ohio for the late season muzzleloader hunt. If you guys not been keeping up with the channel, pause this video right now. Go back and watch the part one of this little hunt series. We have been struggling trying to see deer, but the last hunt that I went on in the afternoon, I found a good bit of deer. The bulk of them are on private, but I did have two does come in behind me on public ground, and I took a shot at one and hit low, basically just like shaved her belly. There's a bunch of white hair laying there, no blood, no meat, nothing. So I'm gonna head back into that same area this morning, but I think my plan is to push just a touch deeper into the hardwoods and just hope that I can catch one going back. So Dad's in the truck now, defrosting everything. We're gonna go get loaded up. Let's go see if we can get a deer down, guys. Alrighty, guys, we're set up. If I really like this exact tree that I'm setting up against, or if I want to swap. Right now, I'm setting on a little finger ridge that's looking across to a big ridge here. Once the sun comes up, it'll start drawing my scent away from this bottom. Squirrel right there working already. There's just so much sign right here behind me, but I think the bulk of that sign is being made in the afternoons by those deer filtering into that cornfield. There was no deer in the corn. Whenever I walked up the hill this morning, there was nothing. We didn't run any deer out. There was no deer that I could see. So that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. It could be a good thing because if they filter, if they happen to come back through that field to feed for just a little bit before they go bed back down, then they may actually come in behind me onto this ridge where I can get a shot at them. I may make a decision to either push down the hill or push farther out this finger ridge. Guys, I think he's a squirrel hunter, from what I can tell. He pushed down that ridge, the opposite ridge, which really I don't think is a bad thing, because if there was any deer in there that had already came out of that cornfield, then he would have either pushed them down the ridge or he would have pushed them to me. But I never seen anything run, so I mean that I don't think he spooked any deer. So that could be a good thing that maybe the deer are not bedded down yet. Maybe they're still out feeding in some areas. And pretty much now hoping that a deer comes from my right going to my left down at the creek.
That's about the only hope we got right now. Which the mornings have been tough and almost, I'm not going to say pointless, but pretty much pointless. Just got up here on top of this hill. We got all this corn back behind me is private ground, and the public line is right there at that fence. Public runs all the way down and up across that next ridge, and then it just goes forever back through here. So we got a lot of acreage to play with here, but I really believe that the key is to be as less intrusive as possible right now and set as absolutely close to their food source as you can possibly get. If I tear off down into these woods, I think I'm going to bump deer potentially, because I think that's what they're doing. I think they're just setting up and bedding close to this food so that if somebody or something bumps them off, then they don't have too far to go, or they can maneuver around and still get back into this feeding area. See, there's a lot of cut cornfields here, but this one in particular is the closest cut cornfield to this large tract of public. The problem is that ridge there that flows down and over, that's where the majority of those deer come out of last night. They were on this little hill right here, which rightfully so. The wind is blowing perfect right now, right that way, which means those deer would come up with the wind in their face. But what we're hoping for is we're hoping that some deer have bedded back in here on this public ground, and they're going to want to get to this cornfield to feed. And the best way for them to get to this cornfield is really and truly to come up on this top side right here where I'm at. So this kind of top ridge runs together, and there's a bunch of finger ridges that tie in. And those deer right now, they're not wanting to walk up, down, up, down, up, down. If they can take and follow a contour line and stay on that same level all the way to their food source, then that's what they're going to do. But the good thing about this is I can set on that contour line, but I can also cover it if those deer come straight up out of this creek bottom. I think that's going to be huge, is being able to cover both of those. And those deer, in my opinion, are going to want to come on this side of the ridge, because this is where they're the most hidden. If they go on the other side, then they've got vehicles and houses and other stuff that might spook them a little bit. So I'm really just kind of taking my time going in here. There's no reason to rush. It's 3 o'clock, but we're getting here at 3 o'clock to hunt for 15 minutes. I'm going to be sitting right there. That's the tree I've been setting up against. These deer just working all the way up and down through this. Guys, one tip from the ground, which I'm not by any means phenomenal at hunting from the ground, but some of the things that I've learned is, one, to try to find a tree that is wider than your shoulders, and two, make sure you scratch the leaves out from around where you're sitting so that you can move around and twist without making too much noise. And then the third thing is if you can find find some horizontal cover around you, like, it's hard for y'all to see. I've got like this log laying here. I've got this big lay down right here in front of me. If you can find that horizontal cover, a lot of times that will help you get away with a lot more movement and will help the deer not pay as much attention to you sitting here. Let's go, baby. Dad just shot a doe. Got a doe down, baby. Let's freaking go. Let's go. That is a hard fought doe right there. Holy smokes. He just sent a text, said doe down. That's all the information I got. There were too many deer moving over there around him for him to have not been able to get a shot on one. I bet there was a doe come behind him on that ridge. Those deer are feeding heavy right now. I think we got rain coming in on like Thursday, Wednesday, maybe Wednesday. Today's Monday. We got this afternoon and tomorrow morning for us. We're not going to hunt tomorrow afternoon because we're going to try to make it back home at a decent hour. Oh, let's go. Let's go. It's going to be a pretty good track for where Dad's at too. So I'm sure we'll have to go back. We'll have to go back and get the game cart to get her out of there. I'm pumped, baby. I'm pumped. Let's go. Now all we need is a deer to come in here. Let's get a deer down. Let's double. Let's double to end season 10 of Southern Extreme TV. 10 years. I've been filming for 10 years, guys. That's hard to believe. We've had some awesome experiences in those 10 years. That is so cool. Well, let's buckle down here. Let's buckle down here. Let's get us one, guys. Let's get us a deer shot. Let's go. You shot one?
Christened the old new muzzleloader.
Old CVA, son. How many did you wind up seeing?
I don't know how many. There was 15's the last count I had, but dude, I seen these deer early on. They was coming across the field. I seen 4 and they come across one in the corn. And I wasn't just, I don't know, 20 minutes later I seen another deer coming off the hill over there above the corn. They come down and it was feeding. So there's 5 deer in there. About 40 minutes later, I look up and I see 4 deer that's hauling butt back up the other way. I look over and see a deer coming down the hill. And it looked like a small buck. It wasn't very big. But he come down and him and this other one was feeding. They fed for 20-30 minutes. And I seen something, looked over, well, there's 9 deer running across the field. They run all the way up to the upper end, out of sight, out of mind. I was like, dude, that's crazy. And they was running, they was running like something was after them. And then all of a sudden, about 2 minutes later, I look up, here come deer, they're running back over the hill and running right at me. And they run right over there and they still on the other side of the fence. 4 of them run right there and stop. 2 of them stop on back that way, and they're all looking back the way they came. I'm like, man, something is running the crap out of them. Well, all of a sudden, they just turned and started running. They jumped the fence down there and turned and run right up to me. Run, come in the same trail I walked. Run up there and stop. And I shot the biggest doe was in them.
She dropped or she run?
She ran about 40. She ran up the hill about 40 yards.
She's up there on that ridge.
So,
Heck yeah.
with all the smoke, I seen them run up the hill, but I seen her roll over.
Heck yeah.
So, but it was exciting there for a minute.
Well, we're gonna go get the game cart, guys. We're headed back to camp now. We're gonna go get the cart. It shouldn't be too bad of a drag. It's just kind of a long drag, so it's gonna be easier with this deer cart. We'll go get her out of there. Yeah, holy smokes. Look at the size of that doe. It's your first Ohio whitetail, son. Let's go. Get some knuckles on that, dude.
Bigger than I thought she was.
Yeah, she's a horse. So much bigger than our bucks back home. We got us a big old doe right there. This is a hoss of a doe. Hopefully you guys can see her okay. Dad's up there getting his stand out now. Man, we're out of breath. We had to drag this big girl downhill. I couldn't imagine if we had to drag this joker up a real big hill. She'd be a brute, man. Big old head on her, big old hams. You gotta love it. I'm taking a breather right now. Dad's on his way back down. I'll get Dad in there for some photos here in just a second. But all right, guys, we got Dad down there behind her, so you can actually kind of get an idea of just how big this doe is. She's an absolute hoss. Dad's seen so many deer tonight, which is pretty cool. So we got to get her. We got the game cart. We're gonna get her loaded up, get her back on the truck, and then I've got one more hunt left in the morning before we're headed back to North Carolina, and see if we can get it done. But this is your first Ohio deer. Me and John shot 2 bucks. Well, I shot a buck, he shot a buck, and I shot and missed a doe yesterday afternoon, and then you had probably your first opportunity at a deer was this afternoon, wasn't it? So good times, guys. At least we're seeing some deer. It's been a grind. This has been a hard-earned doe right here, but we got her. Let's get her out of here and let's go have a celebratory drink. Well, guys, this is the end to episode 2 of our late season Ohio trip. You guys have not met Travis. You also have not met old Scotty over here. So we are in Ohio deer camp. A little different ending to SETV than what you're typically used to. We're out here skinning the old doe that Dad shot. I've got one more morning left. I think everybody's got one more morning left except for Dad. Dad is the lucky one that's going to get to sleep in tomorrow morning. Yep. So we're going to go out in the morning. We're going to try to fill a couple more tags. It's been a grind here in Ohio late season. We have seen 2 bucks though. The first buck that we seen was the very first morning on the drive in to the spot that we were going to go hunt at. And the second buck was actually tonight. Dad seen a smaller buck that came out with some of these does. And just fortunate enough, these does ran right over to Dad, so we were lucky to be able to be here cleaning a doe tonight. So with that being said, that is the end to tonight's video. A little different end than the normal nice, pretty, clean photo like you see on the outdoor channel and the pursuit channel and everything else. It's all dolled up. But tonight, this is what deer camp's about, guys. We've got a doe hanging in the skin shed. Bunch of good guys together, hanging out, having a good time, enjoying what deer hunting is actually about. And that's harvesting deer, putting meat in the freezer, feeding our families, having a good time doing it, and creating stories and memories that last a lifetime. And if you're not deer hunting for that specific reason, then you're doing it wrong. You're not hunting for the right reason at the end of the day. And that's why we're here doing it. And we were fortunate enough when we first started coming here to Ohio, we met these guys and it just everything clicked. And it was, you know, guys from up north and guys from down south not supposed to get along, but it's just one of those things where everything worked out. We're here cleaning deer in the middle of the night, and it's been fun. So with that being said, guys, if you've enjoyed the video that I brought you, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to grow this thing to 100,000. Every click gets me a little bit closer to that goal. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully tomorrow morning will be another video, but if not, this is a wrap to season 10 of SCTV. 10 years of filming to get us to this spot right here, guys. Thanks for everything. I'll see y'all next time.